What is the one thing that Stoicism teaches us that other philosophies don't? What is the one thing that makes Stoicism unique? I would argue that it's the answer to this question. What if someone close to you, a family member, a friend, a lover, dies? How should you react? Should you grieve? Should you cry? What if you had to make an important decision, a life or death decision, and your mind was clouded with grief? Marcus Aurelius says in Meditations that he who is easily moved to tears is not an instrument of a strong mind. Seneca says it's a sign of weakness to be too emotional. And yet when a loved one dies, the Stoics teach us to feel, to grieve, to cry. So where does Stoicism draw the line? When do we stop feeling? Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, had this to say about erotic connection. He said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will have a tranquil life." Now, at first blush, this seems to imply that we shouldn't develop any strong attachment to anyone, not even our lovers. But Epictetus wasn't saying that we shouldn't have desires, or that we shouldn't love. What he was saying is that we shouldn't be so attached to our desires that when they are not met, we're miserable. In other words, we shouldn't be so attached to outcomes that we couldn't handle it when things do and go our way. Stoicism isn't about being detached. It's about being connected. It's about being connected to the people around us, to the world around us, and to the possibilities that each moment brings. But it's also about accepting the things that we cannot change, about letting go of the things that are beyond our control. It's about understanding that everything changes, that nothing stays the same forever, and that's okay. I think this is what Stoicism is all about. Learning to feel deeply, but not being attached to the outcome. Learning to love, not being in love with the idea of love. Learning to desire, but not being consumed by our desires. Marcus Aurelius says the key is to keep life simple, to strip away all the things that are not in our control. And then when we get to the end of our lives, he says, we will realize that all that truly matters is this: to live a life of virtue, to live a life of excellence, to live a life of service to others. This is the one thing that Stoicism teaches us that other philosophies don't. It's the art of having strong emotions, but not being controlled by them. The art of being deeply connected to people and things, but not being so attached that we can't let go. It's the art of feeling, of loving, of desiring, but always remembering that these things can be taken away. And if they are, we will be okay because we have something far more valuable than anything external, and that is our inner peace.